The wineglass shatters against the hardwood floor, a crystalline scream slicing through the hum of polite chatter. I freeze, my heart lurching as the room falls silent, all eyes on me. My wife, Claire, stands at the head of the dining table, her face a mask of controlled fury, lips trembling as she glares. "You don't deserve to be here," she says, her voice low, venomous, each word a dagger aimed at my chest. The other guests, her friends, not mine, shift uncomfortably, their forks clinking against plates, eyes darting to avoid mine. I want to scream back, to demand why, but my throat tightens, and all I can do is stand there, the weight of her words crushing me. I didn't even want to come to this damn dinner. The evening had started wrong, like a song played in the wrong key. Claire had been distant all week, her smiles forced, her touches fleeting. I'd chalked it up to stress, her new promotion, the late nights at the office, the endless calls she took in hushed tones. "Work," she'd said, waving me off when I asked. I believed her because I wanted to, because doubting her felt like betraying the 10 years we'd built together. But tonight, as I stood in our cramped apartment kitchen, watching her fuss over the table settings with an almost manic precision, I felt a prickle of unease. "Why don't we ever have my friends over?" I'd asked, half joking. Her eyes had flashed, just for a second, before she turned away. "They wouldn't fit in," she'd said, her voice flat. I laughed it off, but the words lingered, sharp and cold. Now, standing in the wreckage of her accusation, I feel the room tilt. The dining room smells of roasted garlic and expensive Merlot, but it's suffocating, the air thick with unspoken truths. Her friend Elise, perched at the table's edge, avoids my gaze, her fingers twisting a napkin into knots. Mark, the guy from her office who always lingers too long, smirks faintly, his eyes glinting with something I can't name. I want to grab Claire, pull her aside, demand answers, but her words echo in my skull. "You don't deserve to be here." What does that even mean? My hands shake as I set down my napkin, the linen rough against my sweaty palms. "Claire." I manage, my voice hoarse. "What's going on?" She doesn't answer. Instead, she turns to her guests, her smile snapping back into place like a mask. "Let's not ruin the evening," she says, her tone bright but brittle. The others murmur agreement, their voices a low hum, but I feel their stares, sharp as needles. I stumble out of the room, my pulse pounding in my ears, the hallway dim and narrow, like it's closing in. I need air. I need to think. The front door slams behind me, the autumn chill biting my skin as I lean against the brick wall of our building, my breath visible in the night air. My mind races, replaying every moment of the past few months, her late nights, her guarded phone, the way she flinched when I touched her last week. I told myself it was nothing. I told myself I was paranoid. But I wasn't. Not entirely. There was that text I'd glimpsed on her phone 2 weeks ago, from M. Just a single line. "Can't wait to see you." I'd asked her about it, casual, trying not to sound accusing. She'd laughed, said it was her coworker Mark, planning a work thing. I'd nodded, swallowed my doubt, because what else could I do? She was Claire, my Claire, who cried during cheesy rom-coms, who left me sticky notes on the fridge with terrible puns. She wasn't the type to lie. Or so I thought. I paced the sidewalk, the streetlights casting long, distorted shadows. My phone buzzes in my pocket, and I fumble to check it, hoping it's Claire, an apology, an explanation. It's not. It's Elise, her message short and cryptic. "Meet me at the coffee shop on 5th. Now. My stomach twists. Elise, with her nervous smiles and too long glances, has never texted me before. Why now? I hesitate, my thumb hovering over the screen, but something, curiosity, dread, desperation, pushes me forward. The coffee shop is only a block away, its neon sign flickering like a warning. Inside, the air smells of burnt espresso and damp wool. Elise is already there, tucked into a corner booth, her coat still on, like she's ready to bolt. Her eyes dart to mine, wide and glassy, and for a moment, I think she's going to cry. "I'm sorry," she says before I even sit down, her voice barely above a whisper. "I didn't know how to tell you." My heart stops, then hammers. "Tell me what?" I ask, though part of me already knows. Her hands tremble as she slides her phone across the table, a photo glowing on the screen. It's Claire laughing, her head thrown back, her hand resting on Mark's arm. They're in a bar, the lighting dim, intimate. The timestamp is last night, when Claire told me she was working late. I stare at the photo, my vision blurring. There's more, Elise says, her voice breaking. She swipes to another image. Claire and Mark closer now, their faces inches apart. My chest tightens, like someone squeezing the air out of me. Why are you showing me this? I ask, my voice raw, accusing. Elise flinches, her fingers twisting together. Because I saw them, she says. Last week at his place. I was dropping off files, and they didn't know I was there. Her words hit like punches, each one harder than the last. I want to deny it, to call her a liar, but the photos don't lie. The way Claire's looking at him, the way her hand lingers, they tell a story I can't unsee. I don't remember leaving the coffee shop, but I'm back on the street, the cold air stinging my face. My mind is a storm, anger, heartbreak, confusion crashing together. I think of Claire's words at dinner, the way she'd humiliated me in front of her friends. Was that her guilt talking, or her way of pushing me out? I want to confront her, to scream, to beg her to tell me it's not true. But deep down I know it is. The signs were there, small at first, her late nights, her coldness, the way she stopped saying, I love you first. I'd ignored them, clung to the version of her I wanted to believe in. But that version is gone. I head back to the apartment, my steps heavy, deliberate. The dinner is over, the guests gone, the table littered with half-empty plates and wine-stained glasses. Claire's in the kitchen, scrubbing a pan, her movements sharp, angry. She doesn't look up when I walk in. We need to talk. I say, my voice steady despite the chaos inside me. She freezes, her hands still in the soapy water. About what? She asks, too casual, too defensive. I pull out my phone, show her the photos Elise sent. Her face crumples, just for a second, before she hardens again. It's not what you think, she says, but her voice wavers and I know she's lying. Then what is it? I demand, my voice rising. Because it looks like you're in love with someone else. The words burn as they leave my mouth, and her silence is deafening. She sets the pan down, her hands trembling, and when she finally looks at me, her eyes are wet but not with regret, with defiance. You've been checked out for months, she says, her voice sharp. You don't see me anymore. It's a blow I didn't expect, and for a moment I falter. Have I? I think of the late nights I spent working, the arguments we brushed off, the distance I thought was temporary. But it doesn't justify this. It doesn't justify her. The room feels smaller, the walls closing in as we stand there, two strangers who used to love each other. I saw you. I say, my voice breaking. Elise showed me everything. Claire's eyes widen, and for the first time, she looks scared. Not of me, but of being caught. It was a mistake, she whispers, but it's too late. The truth is out, raw and ugly, and it's not just about Mark. It's about us, how we let the cracks grow until they swallowed everything. I turn to leave, my heart in pieces, but her voice stops me. I'm pregnant, she says so softly I almost miss it. I freeze, my breath catching, and when I turn back, her eyes are pleading, but I don't know whose child she's carrying. The uncertainty is a knife, twisting deeper than any betrayal.